Well, hello again. Another video. This is on a new loco that I've had. Also, I will be talking about track cleaning and what I have here, which is the Railmaster PRO. So first of all, let's get on to the new loco. The one I've actually bought is this, which is the Ruston. I was in with Steve at the Hobby Goblin, which is my usual hangout on the Tuesday mornings, and saw this in his showcase, so I fell in love with it. All my locos, I don't go by era, I basically go by what they look like. If I like the looks of it, I will buy it. And this is the one. Now what it's actually got here is this is the little loco. This is only 2 inches long. Then you've got the drawbar and a flatbed, and this little cable that is plugged in to the loco and into the bed. This has got track pickups, because when you look at this is only 2 inches, so you can imagine how small that is across those contacts. Some people who've had these have put stay lives in. I know that somebody's actually put sound into this. This is the paperwork you get with it. You see there's just 4 screws you take out, take the body off, and then you put the decoder in, 6-pin decoder, and that's it basically. Now this is the actual loco. As you can see, there's my thumb, that's how big it is. It's a tiny little thing, it's a beautiful thing. Now what you've got a problem with this, as you do with a lot of like the shunters, which are 060s usually, is these points. More so is these. Some are big, some are small. Now the thing is with the Hornby ones, they're usually pretty long like this. But with the Picos, they're shorter. You can see that's a shorter range on there. Now that is where the problem comes when you've got something that big to try and get across it. So when I bought it, I put the decoder in it, set it up, and what I did, I took the wagon off the back, so there's just the loco. And I tried it across here and across there. Now I've got this set at 10 miles an hour. Now I'll show you what this one is. I'll just do a click on this and put it on shunt. Now this is 10 miles an hour, and it has no problem whatsoever. Then I tested the wagon, but that's it at 10 miles an hour. Lovely little train, very very quiet. I'll push this up to a bit more speed so I can get it back round again. Now one thing you've got a problem with this thing is when you program it into here it comes. You can actually put the wagon on the front or the back, doesn't matter which way around. There's plug sockets in the back and on the front. Now the problem we got with this is putting it into Railmaster. As I've said in the past, we have a problem with a lot of the locos, also the newer ones, is if I go to here now and I'll go to the locos, where you're going to put set up your loco. I have been busy, quite a few different callers coming in. I've got one chap down the south who's emigrated to New Zealand, and when he gets over there I will set his railway up for him in New Zealand. I've got my friend over in Australia who I have a regular contact with. I've got them all over. I've got one in Ireland, I've got them all over the place, but different people have different problems and I hopefully solve them for them. Right, so what we've got here is if I now put in, I have to go down here a bit because mine are down here. Let's do 57, right? Now this particular train, if I do this and put in, to do it this way, 3704. Doesn't exist. Now then, if I do this, now if you see there, there is one there which is 3705. That one there. Now if I click that one thing you'll notice here, it's got a maximum of 10 miles an hour. So what at the speed you saw me running across those points, that's the maximum that train will run round your layout. But there is a way of doing this. Is if I actually take this out again for a minute, don't want that, and we put it back into here. Now then, if I go to here again and put in 50, 56, 50, well 57, doesn't remember what, and then you go to here, click on that, you will get, first of all you get to that bit here, you go to Programs 86, you then find Railmaster, you go to Locos, and there of course are all the locos, about 2,000 in there. If you go down here, now it's R30 3074. What did? No, it's 37, and it's 30. It's 37. It's me. Let's go all the way down here. You can actually make these bigger if you need to make them bigger, but there we are. So there's the 3074, which is the one I've got. There's the one 307, and there's another one 307. Now if I actually click on that and then click the open, when it does it, there it is. And all you've got to do is put the name of it in there, Ruston. Now if you notice, it has taken away that restriction and you can put what you want in there, and that's the way I actually built it in. If you've got backman trains, you've got to do it this way around anyway, but that is the way you can actually fiddle the system, as you might say. So that is what you can do with that one. Take that off. Right. Now then, one of the things you get with it, you get the little clips, but it's actually got a special one. As you can see, it's like a normal NEM one, but it's got that loop on it. That is where the drawbar goes when you've got the unit on the track. Now then, one thing, as I've said before, is making sure that your track is clean. I've got different ones. I've got the dapple one, I've got the rubber, I've got all the different things there to clean this track, but the best one that I have got is this. This is from 10 Commandments. This box I put on, basically you get this part here, but what you've got is these weights, like that, look. And you put these pads on, like that. That's all you do. They're double backed, so you just cut a piece off. I'll show you what that is, if I can find the piece on here somewhere. There we go. This is what it looks like, this stuff, right? And all I've got to do is cut down there, cut that in half, and then put the pads, glue the pads onto the unit. Now I'll just put them straight off. Right, so what they do is these hang down, and you just drag it around the track. You can put them, I put them on backs of wagons like this, I put them on backs of coaches, and just let it run round. So what you've got to do is to put this on the rails like this. Bit awkward to put on, there we are, like that. I now just push it up to that there. Now as you notice, it was clean underneath. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run this around at pretty quick speed. I'll run it around a couple of times to show you what it actually does. You need something very heavy. This is a bit too small really to pull this thing round, but it's I usually use one of my diesels to pull this, but it is having a bit of a struggle to pull this round here. But what I should do is just stop this for now. I can loop this out of the way, and look at that. That's one lap round. That's how much dirt there was on the rails. It's a brilliant thing. So I say you get a packet of pads with it. And one thing is like over there in the engine shed, you can push that into the engine shed and out and clean the rails inside the engine shed, or in tunnels where you can't normally get. So it's a good little unit that is. And all I did is got a box. I had it out to Steve's at the railway shop, the Hornby Ruston, and just stuck it on the top, and that's it. That's all it is. It is brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of kit, that is. Now, one of the things I'm just waiting for at the moment is this, which is a relay controller. There's two relays, and the thing is they'll take 3 amp across them, across the switches. I've been on touch with David at Tele. This is where they come from. As you can see from here, it'll start the loading, remote controller models on there, active turntables, boost train sensors, automatic train control. So you have to use automatic sensors and do it that way around as well. Now, as you know, what I've got with my layout, if I do this, this and this, that's all my lighting on the railway. Now as you notice, the yard lights are there. Now one of the things I'm going to do is one of the relays is this set of points here, is that track there goes right way around the back onto the turntable, but this one goes into the yards. So what I'll do is use that switch in there, so that when the switch to there, there'll be no lights on. When I switch to here, those yard lights will come on. And then the other one I will use for all my houses, because they'll take the 3 amp the amount I've got on here. So that's one little project that's in the making at the moment. But when I got hold of David, they're going to be shipped at the end of the month, so he's going to let me know as soon as they come, and I shall have one, and then I can do these lighting up here. As you know, I've got these others which I do with. This is another train tech, which is these little here, which are, if I just click onto that brings on the little police box. I've got the little boy there, I've got the van over there, I've got the arc lighting over there, and they're all controlled now through Railmaster here. They don't go through switches or anything else. Now then, as I've said before, all my layout works on voice. You can only get this in Pro, but also it's one of the things also you get in Pro, if I just bring this down here a bit, down here, is you get them, which are 45-degree angle points. So as it comes off here, normally you can't do that with it, whereas with the other ones you can actually there. So where you've got locos coming, you can actually put 45-degree angle points off here. You can do anything you want with them. Now if I go into my track plan, I'll show you some of the stuff you can do with it. If I go into this part here, which are the points, these are the normal ones you get when they get the normal Railmaster, but these are the ones you get when you use Pro, such as like the one I've just done there. That's it. Look, it comes up on 45 grand. I'll just bring it down here, just put it there. and then you can go up there and over there and over there into the shed, and it's a lot easier to play with. So that's one thing you can actually do with them. Now also what you've got is these, there's nothing else left in these, but one thing I must tell you about is these little numbers down the sides. When you're building your layout, keep over here. You can go all over that, there's a lot over there, but keep at least 2 to 3 boxes away from that edge, because if you wanted to put a siding down here, if you run your track down to this one, you won't get it in. You've got to move the lot. So that's the easiest way to do it, is to just move this all across here. Now then, one of the things is if you go to this bit here, you've got this, which is a cog. If you bring the cog here, as I've told you before about this, is if you right click on it, any program that you've made you put into there, and then here you can put in what I do with mine. I put little trains in like that, and that little train now, when I click it, wherever I put that onto the layout, I just click that and that train will run the program I've just been doing. So I just click out of that one there. Now another thing is also is that when you've got a normal Railmaster, is when you're in 100% and then you reduce it like this down to 75 or down to 50, when you come back it'll go back at 100. With Railmaster Pro you get all that as normal as it went out. So that's one thing, you haven't got to keep chasing around with it. Now another one is what I use, of course, is my train announcements, or my trains I should say. I click onto this. This is the thing to set up the speaking. Just do this.
Railmaster voice control ready.
Then all I've got to do then is, there's my mic. I always have it like this, it's easier. Switch it on and I can control any train I want. So do this. Ruston. 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 It isn't working now. Class 15, which is there. Lights on, lights off. GWR, lights on, sound on. Coach on. Doors. Ruston. Wales 2. Lights on. Cab on. Coach on. GWR. Forward. Speed 10. Speed 0. Sound off. So I can control all my locos wherever they are over here with no problems whatsoever, and it works great. Now, as I've said before, you can contact me anytime you want. I'm always here, day and night basically. Any problems with Railmaster, you're wanting setting up, or I've done it where I've actually changed them from one PC over to another PC online. As long as you've got TeamViewer 14, you go by Google, type TeamViewer 14, download the free download, and you get the icon on the screen, and then what you do then is you give me those two numbers which come up, which is the ID and the password. I then link to your computer and I can go through a lot of this stuff. I can check your systems out, check your INI file especially. So anybody wants me at any time, you can call me. Now this, what I do for anybody, is free. I do not charge anybody. Get that straight. I do this for the love of it. So if anybody wants me at any time, my phone number is 01782 302194. My email is there on all my different videos I've done, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.